I'm Matthew Kichenside. I'm a private equity lawyer focusing on advising management teams of private equity-backed portfolio companies on their incentive arrangements and other corporate activities. Prior to Keystone, I was a senior associate at a number of leading private equity law firms, both in the Silver Circle and in the US market. I think what put me off the idea of partnership at a traditional firm was the mismatch between the aspirations that I had for my own practice and the overall business strategy for a lot of the established firms, in that I wouldn't have the freedom to kind of develop my practice in the way I really wanted to. I think the other very important element was remuneration, and that actually there was a far closer correlation between the work that I was doing and the amount that I would be paid for doing that. I suppose, very similar to probably most senior associates looking at the partnership track, I didn't really have an established book of business. I couldn't sit down and say that in the next 12 months I would bring in £500,000 worth of business, £1 million worth of business. But what I did have was a highly developed network of contacts who I was confident would give me the chance to prove myself in an independent capacity. I already knew through a number of contacts that I had in the industry who already referred work to certain lawyers at Keystone, and so that I had the confidence of a number of my referral sources. So it was an obvious first choice in that regard. That, in addition to their ability to onboard people quickly, the sophistication of their IT infrastructure to be able to kind of facilitate remote working and provide the sort of flexibility that was necessary for my practice was ideal. Keystone is a very broad church. It has a number of practice areas which a lot of the sort of law firms who deal with private equity don't ordinarily have. And some of those services are actually more appropriate for management teams than they are for financial sponsors. So cross-selling opportunities have been fantastic. A platform like Keystone attracts very like-minded people who have become disenchanted with the existing model. And so being out in an environment where there's like-minded people who are all focused on the same things, who all essentially value the same things and want the same out of their practice, is very compelling. I think the main attributes that you need to make a success at Keystone, I think, is firstly having an entrepreneurial streak in your personality. You can't just be a lawyer, you have to be an individual who wants to actually build their own business and to operate it on that sort of level. And I think alongside that becomes self-discipline. If you're running your own practice, you are not dependent on partners kind of getting you motivated to do the work. You have to be able to get yourself out of bed and actually be committed to actually making a success of it. In terms of kind of weighing up the traditional partnership route and a consultancy model, I think my advice would be fortune favours the brave. Bravery doesn't necessarily guarantee success, but I think the odds are stacked in your favour actually if you are willing to step out, to leverage your network of contacts. By the time you're hitting the sort of level where kind of you are able to step out on your own, you do have that expertise, but the next step is having the confidence and the willingness to actually try and take that to the next level.